Mike, how was the drive up to Penn State on Saturday?
The drive up was a little shaky. The drive home was amazingly good. I tweeted this. Way to go, PennDOT. I mean, that was amazing. It was like a regular autumn evening driving home. Well done.
Good. We'll find out if that field is heated or not, because I know they had the tarp on it and they didn't take it off till the end. But there was amazing, great field conditions.
It was, and they didn't quite have the weather up there that we had down here. But still, you're right.
Let's get to it. Is Silas Red overused right now? 30 carries. What do you have? 100 and what yards this time? A lot.
A bunch. Yeah, 170. No. It was 130 something.
130 something on 31 carries. Yeah. And they've been using him a lot. And I always say overused. If he was the only horse in the stable, I could see it. But you've got Stephon Green, you've got Dukes, you've got Beecham, you've got who am I missing? There's a ton of them.
Well, it's Stephon Green.
I
mean, they have three that they have used at times this year, but all at different times, sort of inexplicably. I don't get it. They kind of almost featured Dukes in the Purdue game 3 weeks ago, and then last week they kind of featured Stephon Green a little bit, and he scored a touchdown. And then last week Beecham, who has been injured a lot, was back, but they didn't use Duke or Green. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe we can find out from Joe today.
Why not put all the bullets in your gun as opposed to one bullet, two bullet? I don't understand that philosophy.
Red is not a real big kid, and 30 carries is a lot. That's a lot. He's terrific. He is terrific. I mean, I think he's going to be first team All Big Ten. He is leading the Big Ten in rushing and in carries right now. He's been wonderful.
I got a T-shirt that says Penn State football, but it's got like the number on the football, 25. It's a great number because Kurt Warner wore that number years ago. And he's got some of those same moves.
He's terrific.
I thought the game was defensively, when Penn State was out there, I thought they need to get a turnover and score because this offense isn't going to do it. I caught the game late, and you tweeted or wrote something about this because Channel 27, I have no idea why it was still screened until I saw your article.
They had a power outage, yeah.
Power outage, okay, it happens. Luckily, we have Channel 6 as well. I can watch it. But McGloin looked horrible when I caught it the last 6 minutes of the first quarter. And I'm thinking, get Bolden in. And they put Bolden in. I thought, take him out.
He was worse.
Put somebody else. Put McGloin in.
He was just dreadful. And the people were booing him, which you don't like to see. Them booing a college kid. But they are frustrated with this insane, ridiculous quarterback situation.
Are they booing him or are they booing the coaches for putting him in?
I think
it's both. More that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So the offense was horrendous. But to the defense, to the credit, and it's like, Still, Hodges, these guys are studs. Astorino, we're seeing the same names. These guys are studs. And there's more and more the Hills. There seems to be an extra Carson. We're getting more linebackers, more linemen, defensive guys, more and more names that are making big plays. And it seems like
they really
year,
might. You look nationally, and other than LSU and Alabama, which they're going to play on Saturday, and it looks like they're the gold standard.
Sure.
Other than that, I'm not sure there's a better defense in the country than Penn State. There aren't many better, that's for sure. They're certainly in the next group.
So if defense is always a strength, it's always dependable, usually a strength. Why isn't Tom Bradley getting more consideration for head coaching jobs? He tried to get 2 last year, Connecticut and Pitt, and got denied. I don't want to lose the guy. I don't know if a new coach comes in. You hear the rumors of the former Florida coach taking over. If he would keep Bradley, but this guy constantly has these guys ready to play. Whereas the offense year in and year out at Penn State
the consensus is that he would not stay with a new coach. The new coach would probably bring in. So I think what that means is, I don't know if the consensus is true, but that's what people say. If that's true, then I think he's sort of joined at the hip with Joe. I think in a lot of people's perception, I think he's gone too long now, joined at the hip with Joe, and almost as a spokesman for the team now. I mean, he's the guy who shakes hands with the other head coach after the game, right? I mean, I think he's a perfectly fine candidate. I don't know why some of these other schools, why he hasn't gotten hired, but at this point, it almost looks like it's maybe time's running out for him, and this is where he's going to be.
The consistency, he was on the staff even when Sandusky was the defensive coordinator. You call it linebacker U, it's because they've had that kind of great handoff between one coordinator to the other.
It certainly seems like their defense is better coached than their offense. I
think Joe leaves his hands off of the defense.
That would be an understatement.
I think Joe leaves his hands off. He doesn't say which quarterback is going to be. He just lets Bradley do his thing. Illinois, Nebraska, and Northwestern. Which offense from Penn State? They look so great against Northwestern, so hideous against Illinois. Which Penn State team is there?
Well, I feel that had a lot to do with the opposition. I think Northwestern was really bad defensively, and I think Illinois is pretty good defensively, really, and also the conditions on Saturday, probably somewhere in between from here on out, because I don't think Nebraska and Wisconsin are quite as good defensively.
They have a bye this week, 3 games to go. I think they have to beat at least one of these teams coming up: Ohio State, Nebraska, Wisconsin. And that's not the order, but to say this is a good year.
I would have to agree. I agree with that, Starkey. And if they win 2 out of the 3, they're going to the Big Ten championship
That'd be
game.
phenomenal.
No question. No matter what anybody else does, we know that now. So that would be phenomenal. But I think one more win would be a good year, because the way the schedule is played out, they really have not beat a lot of good teams.
They really beat the teams they should have beaten.